Good morning. This is Blaine's World webcast that can be found each week on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also listen on our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and get more information and find out about past shows and future shows at the website, which is behind me, blainesworld.net. I'm your host, Blaine Greenfield, and I'm here in my Zoom studio in lovely downtown Fairview, North Carolina. Each week, we focus on positive news and information about people and organizations in both Western North Carolina and throughout the country. And toward that end, it's my pleasure to introduce Vicki Catalano, board president at Random Acts of Flowers, for being my guest today. Welcome aboard, Vicki.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am very much honored to be here participating and part of Blaine's World.
Okay, and you beat me to the punch. You already waved to everybody, so that was cool. Thank you. I should mention that Vicki Catalano is the board president of Random Acts of Flowers, and I just love that name, a unique nonprofit organization here in Asheville. She works also in her spare time as a media advisor in her other life with the Asheville Media Group, helping local businesses, nonprofits, and entrepreneurs with their marketing strategies. She brings Random Acts of Flowers years of experience in marketing and branding, along with years of volunteering with other organizations. So the question I always ask Vicki the first time I meet with somebody is, as a child, you grew up where?
Durham, North Carolina.
Okay, and when you were growing up as a child in Durham, North Carolina, did you always know you wanted to be board president of a nonprofit in Asheville, North Carolina?
Oh, I've always known it. Always. I've never doubted it 1 second. Um,
But I was interested in it. So how did you get into, well, we'll talk about both of your worlds. So you had a professional life with Asheville Media Group. How did you get into the nonprofit realm?
well, I started volunteering for nonprofits. I got involved in high school in Durham, as a matter of fact, as a young student activist. And that's always stayed with me. I chose to go to Warren Wilson College right here in our area, down the road in Swananoa. So I went there for undergrad. Warren Wilson College is a work college for people who aren't familiar. It's a wonderful liberal arts education where you're also required to
Right.
work for the college and you're also required to do volunteer work in your community. So that was actually one of the things that attracted me to Warren Wilson College. And so I've just always been a believer in be a part of your community, give back where you can, help where you can. And I went on later to pursue a master's degree in public administration from NYU with a specific focus on public and nonprofit management and policy.
And you
Here I
mentioned, yeah, I'm sorry. You mentioned the high school experience. What was the volunteer activity in that? Do you remember?
Oh, there were several. I did Sierra Club. Some friends of mine helped me start an organization at our school called STOP, which is Students and Teachers Organized for Peace. Uh, so some environmental stuff, some political activist stuff, all sorts.
Your background reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. I'll share it with you if you don't know it. But you ever hear a politician by the name of Shirley Chisholm? Um,
Yes, of course, of
and,
course.
and she was the first black congresswoman out of New York. She was the first black to ever run for president. Anyway, she said something which so much reminds me of your background. And she said, service is the rent we pay for living on earth, you know, and we're here to help other people. So you got the bug in high school. Did it continue when you were in college? Were you active as a volunteer in college also?
Oh, absolutely. I've been volunteering ever since high school. I haven't stopped.
And so what brought you then, again, I said before, that I just love the name of the nonprofit, Random Acts of Flowers. What's the idea behind that?
So Random Acts of Flowers, I think I mentioned before, is new-ish here in
Right.
Asheville just a little over 2 years ago. It was started in 2022 by our amazing founder, Jenny Barrenfield. Um, Jenny B. We're so grateful that she came up with this idea to start this organization, and then she found that there was an organization doing this already, based out of Knoxville, Random Acts of Flowers, and so she connected with them and created sort of an affiliate of Random Acts of Flowers here in Asheville. So technically, our name is Random Acts of Flowers Asheville because we're not the only one. We're one of only a few in the country, but we are not the only one. So we have a lot of help and support from, the main organization that has been around much longer and has been able to share a wealth of experience and knowledge with us to help us get off the ground here in Asheville.
And so talk about the idea then behind it. So again, name is a great name, but what does that actually mean?
So, Random Acts of Flowers, we are a 501c nonprofit organization. And what we do is we salvage flowers, we upcycle flowers that are not going to be put to use. We bring together volunteers uh, with these flowers and we create new, fresh bouquets and we deliver those to residents in local healthcare facilities.
And so where do you get the flowers from?
We source the flowers from a lot of places. We love it. We're very fortunate that we have several retailers in the area that will donate flowers to us, flowers that they might put up for sale, but they have an excess of, or maybe some leftover. So that's one place we source flowers. Also from events, we have some special events around town. They contact us in advance and say, hey, we're going to have an event in 10 days or 2 weeks. We don't know what to do with the flowers when we're done. So can you come get them? And yes, we will come pick them up. Our volunteers will come pick them up after a wedding or after a corporate banquet or any kind of event where there's flowers. We're happy to come pick them up.
Do individuals also grow or raise flowers? Do you get them from individuals at all?
Not so much at the moment. I think as our organization grows, we're certainly going to want to partner with some CSAs, partner with um, some local farmers markets. We definitely see a lot of room for expansion in our organization. But for now, we're sourcing them mostly from retailers and from events and private events, event planners. We're really grateful to the Grove Park Inn and as also the Biltmore because they have a lot of events and they are very generous to donate flowers to us.
Do you also get them from supermarkets?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because I imagine, like you said, there are flowers that I guess at some point in time can't be sold, but they're still beautiful flowers.
That's right.
And so I think I'm getting it. So then you find out about events or people where they have flowers, then you actually have to then go pick them up. And then what happens after you pick them up?
So we pick them up and we have to move fairly quickly when we do. We gather our organization volunteers together and we have a bouquet day basically. They come together and we sort through the flowers very carefully so that we're using only the fresh flowers still available. We rearrange them into new bouquets in vases that are donated to us. So that's another thing that we seek from folks that want to donate but they don't have flowers to donate. We are always looking for vases so the volunteers, we get the flowers, we go together in a workshop, we put them together into new bouquets, and then our volunteers with their own personal vehicles drive them out to designated healthcare facilities in Buncombe County and Henderson County.
And so you mentioned, for example, you have this event where everybody comes and puts together the flowers in some sort of arrangement. Where do those events take place? Somebody's house or in a building or a warehouse?
Well, we're so very fortunate to have a space temporarily donated to us
Very nice.
on Ashland Avenue. It's AmeriHealth Caritas. AmeriHealth Caritas on Ashland Avenue. They've been so gracious to donate some space they have available for us to come in once a week and do these workshops with our volunteers. So it's been a wonderful partnership with them. They've been extraordinarily supportive of our mission and helping us accomplish the great work that we do. One of the things we are seeking, hopefully in 2025, is finding a permanent home for Random Acts of Flowers. But until then, we are so very fortunate to be partnering with AmeriHealth Caritas.
And you mentioned so a workshop, so people come together to learn how to do this or put them together, the
Yeah,
flowers.
there's no experience necessary. We have some very experienced florists or floral designers or event planners that come in and They can create these beautiful bouquets. Me, before I joined this organization, I never put together a vase of flowers in my life. And they taught me, and it was much easier than I thought. I was really pleasantly surprised how not only was it so easy, but it was so much fun. And then knowing where the flowers were going to go and seeing that happen, so very rewarding. So anyone can do it. We have newbies all the time. We have inexperienced folks all the time, and we just come in and say, just have fun with it. And we have people who can guide you and teach you a little bit about floral arrangement. Yes.
And since you mentioned it, because I know you're always looking for volunteers, how does somebody get involved in the organization or wants to volunteer to help out? What do they do?
So there are several different ways to get involved, and you can go to our website for one thing, which is RAF Asheville .org. RAF stands for Random Acts of Flowers. So rafasheville.org. We also have a presence on social media, Facebook, Instagram. So you can look for RAF Asheville or Random Acts of Flowers Asheville. And on our website, there's a lot of ways to connect with us. You can look at a calendar of volunteer opportunities and pick one. Say, ooh, I see one next Thursday. I think I'll do that. Or I see one the first Monday of every month. Let me sign up. So you can sign up to volunteer. You can also sign up for our newsletter if you would like to stay informed about what Random Acts of Flowers is doing. You can also make a financial contribution if you'd like to do that. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So you can get involved by finding us on social media or going to our website, rafasheville.org.
Talk about the process then, which sounds to me very exciting. So you get the flowers, you put them together, and then it's random acts of flowers. What makes it random, or who gets these flowers, and how do they sign up to get these flowers, if there's such a thing?
Well, you can. Our list of places where we deliver is growing. So we're delivering over 25 different places right now. And it varies between the VA hospital, Advent Health, Mission Hospital, but also a number of long-term care facilities we're now delivering to. And the list is getting longer and longer. So as I said, we deliver in both Henderson and Buncombe, and we might be expanding out even further beyond that. So if someone wants to be on the list to receive flowers at their nursing home or wherever they may be, just get in touch. Send us an email, info@RAF Asheville. You can email us or go to our website and send a request that way.
So at the facility, then, somebody drops off 10 flower arrangements or 20, and then the facility has to determine who gets the flowers. How does that work out?
Yes, most of the facilities will decide how to distribute the flowers appropriately. Part of that is for patient confidentiality,
Sure.
respecting HIPAA standards and protocols. So often the case is we will deliver the flowers. The staff will come and gather the flowers and distribute them to the folks that they think are appropriate. There's a lot of folks in some of these healthcare facilities that don't get a lot of visitors. And so often our bouquets will go to those folks just so that they have some love. And what makes it random is, the folks that are in a position of they have a medical situation going on. They don't know these flowers are coming. They just randomly show up. And we've heard so many testimonials about how it's just brightened their day, or family members have contacted us to say, thank you for the work that you're doing. My mother's mood just cheered. Um, Once she got these flowers, she just felt a little more pep in their step, I guess, so to speak.
Well,
But I'd
that's
also like to point out that it not only brightens the day of some of the patients in care, it brightens the day of the staff in the facility as well. They see us roll up and they just get excited. They're so happy here's the flower people. They've come with the flowers. And so some of them know to expect random acts of flowers on a weekly basis. And
and
sometimes we surprise folks.
talk if you would. By the same token, as exciting as it is for the recipient, as exciting it is for the facility, it's probably equally exciting and rewarding for the volunteers as well. And talk a little bit about that, about the people who volunteer and
Oh
their
gosh.
reactions.
Yes, the volunteers that do the delivery, not all volunteers do that. Some
Right.
volunteers come in and just do the flower arranging and that's it. Some volunteers don't do that at all. They come in, pick up the flowers, and they deliver them. And it's incredibly rewarding. There are smiles, there are hugs, sometimes there are tears. We're always welcome. We're so well received when we do arrive somewhere. I mean, oftentimes we arrange in advance with the organization or the facility where we're delivering. They know we're coming, but not all the staff knows it necessarily. Sometimes we show up and we're expected, but the nurse is on call that day, like, oh, I didn't know you were coming today. Thank you for being here. So it's really rewarding for the volunteers. It's some of the, like I said, I have been volunteering with lots of organizations over the decades, and this is truly one of the most rewarding projects I've ever been involved with.
I don't know the quote, but a lot of people say the exact same thing. I'm trying to think of it, that the people who get the most out of volunteering are the people who do the volunteering in large part. Just they're giving back to the Asheville community, they're giving back to all these folks. And I guess particularly rewarding for some people to get this, like you said, because it's random, they never expected it, never think they'd get it. How long do the flowers last?
It depends on a few factors, the type of flower, the time of year, what the environment's like in the healthcare facility. But yeah, they last for several days, sometimes up to a week, possibly longer, depending on what we got in there. We very carefully nourish and feed our bouquets before we deliver them so that they will have a longer life in someone's room. So they last a while, and we are again very careful to choose the ones that are still bright and fresh and will last longer.
Now, you mentioned in terms of this keeps growing on you, that when you started it, it's only been in Nashville, what, two years now?
A little over two
2
years.
years. Where do you see it going in the future?
Oh, I see this organization expanding out to other counties in Western North Carolina. I definitely see it's already happening now where we're adding to the list of places that want us to deliver flowers. Because yes, you can request a delivery, and we are expanding the number of locations donating flowers to us. Our volunteer base is expanding. I mean, I definitely see us wanting and needing to move into a new home this year, preferably this calendar year, 2025. We need a place where we can have some um, not freezing, but cold storage for flowers, space where we can set up tables to put to floral arrangement, and workshops also to teach people a little bit how to do flower arranging.
Now, by the same token, you mentioned how people can volunteer for the organization.
Mhm.
Is that also at the website where people can find out if not individually, but if a nonprofit or a nursing home wants to get flowers delivered, there's information at the website as to how to sign up for that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Yes. There are several ways on the website to send us a message, shoot an email. The phone number's there to connect with some of our volunteer base, some of our board members. So there's lots of ways you can get in touch with us, or you can send a message to us on Facebook. Yes, we definitely encourage people to reach out to us, whether they want to volunteer, whether they want to support, or whether they want to sign up to have flowers delivered to them on a regular basis.
Or again, I think as you mentioned, perhaps the best bet is if they know of a facility that would welcome, a flower lady or flower guy. I guess too, it's mostly women, but there are guys involved in this as well.
That's true. Yeah, there's more women than men in the organization, but we're not a female organization specifically. Anyone can volunteer. We have volunteers of all ages, but we have found it is a wonderful project for some seniors that want to have a nice, pleasant activity and know that that's going to someone who could really use a smile and a cheer in their day. So anyone can volunteer in a number of different ways. If you want to be a driver, we need more of that. If you want to pick up the flowers and bring them to Amer Health, we need more of that. We also need vases. So if anybody, this is another interesting way to volunteer. If you are part of a book club or a church group or ladies who lunch or anything like that, or where you work, you could host a vase drive. We're always looking for vases to be donated to our organization. And again, if you host a vase drive, that's something we'll come and pick them up.
It's I'm trying to think in terms of people coming out when you put the flowers together. How long a period is that? Is that a couple hours on a day, or how long does are you involved in it?
For the most part, we usually do them on Monday late mornings. So it's a couple of hours out of your day, but come and go as you please. It's not a set schedule, but it's helpful to know if people are coming. And once you're set up in our system as a volunteer, we'll let you know if what future volunteer opportunities are available, or if there's inclement weather and we have to cancel an opportunity, we have a way to let you know about that. So I hope that answers that question.
It does. And so I'll have you kind of once again repeat if folks want to find out more about the organization. You mentioned social media, but best bet is probably go to the website initially.
Yeah, rafasheville.org. RAF stands for Random Acts of Flowers.
Okay, love the idea, love the concept. And if folks want to get involved, they can go there. They can also make donations there as well.
Yes, you can make a financial contribution, or you can sign up to be a local business sponsor. That's something else we're always looking for, to partner with local businesses.
And so what would that involve if you were a local business sponsor? What would that entail?
We have different levels of sponsorship, so it depends, but it might be financial. It might be maybe you have an event space where you can let us camp out for a workshop, or a lunch and learn session or something like that. So, or you might have vases or want to do a vase drive.
And it's interesting you mentioning a great idea there that if folks sometimes want to do a project for Christmas or get involved or something, I can just see it. What a great idea. Take your book club, and that could be their service project. Or you'll take, what's the youngest kids get involved? What's the youngest age typically?
Oh gosh, I mean, yeah, there's no age limit. I mean, I think I've seen some 7 and 8 year olds
Really?
up in there like putting together some gorgeous little bouquets that we also will deliver to a children's unit. So, any age at all. Yeah, bring the kids if that's something you want to do. Maybe on a Monday that's a snow day. There's an idea.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, I'd like to thank you, Vicki Catalano, for joining me today. I'd also like to thank my producer, Cappy Tossetti. And someday, hopefully, we'll actually get to meet in person or almost in person and find out more. Thank you.
I think that'd be wonderful, and maybe you can come and volunteer with us sometime. Because yeah, we'd be happy to set up a workshop for your book club or whatever you got going on. We'll be there.
What a great idea. Thanks, Vicki. You be well. Thanks also again to Cappy Tossetti. And like I said, we'll bump into each other maybe sometime in the future. You be well.
I I hope so. Thank you.